The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown. The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown. The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the South Florida Live podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown. And as we always say, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall and we should rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, come on in, guys. Oh my God. I'm excited about this evening of this interview. We're doing a special edition Thursday. Listen, come on, join me. Let's get on in there. If you guys, hope everyone experienced peace and blessings on today. Everyone is doing well. Everyone had a wonderful day on today. In spite of this rain, listen, y'all, let me apologize for yesterday evening. I know we had an episode set up yesterday. Can I tell y'all something? Don't clown me. Can I tell y'all something? How about I didn't get home until 10 o'clock last night. I could not find any roads, any streets to get to my house at the time. Every road, every street was flooded. So I was not able to go. We weren't able to go live on last night for the single edition, and also Let's Talk About the Things That Matter episode. So that's what happened. That's why I had to cancel. That's why I had to postpone the episodes on yesterday because of that. And I hope everyone made it through yesterday. That rain and the flooding was tremendous, just awesome, just ridiculous. It was bad. So I experienced that. Left work around 3:30, and I didn't make it home until around 10 o'clock last night. Thank those that I reached out to. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your kind words and your concern. That was serious. I've never had experienced that before, and I didn't like it. I really did not like it. But God is good. God kept me safe. I even had to go through some water, some puddle water, some flood areas that I had to take my car through. And listen, I was praying as I was going through that water, hoping that I didn't stall out. And God kept me. So thank the Lord for that. But that's what happened on yesterday. I know a lot of people were texting me and asking what was going on. Hey, good evening, Miss Roundtree. God bless you. Peace and blessings. So that's what happened. We could not go live because of that. Okay, so there we go. Hey, listen, guys. Tonight is going to be real good, real good, real good, real good. Yes, me, Jeffrey Brown, gets the pleasure, the honor to interview one of South Florida's greatest songwriters, producer, musician, performer on tonight. Listen, I'm when they said okay to it, man. Listen, I ran around my room, ran around the house. All after they told me okay, I was excited and I was honored to do this tonight. So hey, listen, those that are viewing, come on in. Please share. Those that are viewing by Facebook, those that are viewing by YouTube, let's share. Let's give me some love, give me some hearts, give me some likes. If you're in the comment section, go ahead and holler at your boy and say good evening to you, good evening to everyone that's coming in. Come on in, come on in. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds before we get started. As you hear in the background, I am playing some of Sincere songs, some of the ones that I like. I like all their music. All their music is family, it's rap, but these few, and it's some more. Or I'll be playing all that stuff if I just say all my favorites, but I just pulled a couple of them. So come on in, guys. Come on in. I need you to come in. Come on, let's join me on this evening. I know we haven't been on in a while. We haven't been on Thursday in a minute. We've been doing replays from our sessions, our episodes from the past on Thursday. But this evening, it's a special Thursday edition. And y'all, I'm excited to interview this young man that is taking not just South Florida, but this world, this nation, this world by storm. Some of the things that I've watched him do, some of the things that I've seen him do, how he's grown to be this great young man, this great musician, this great performer, songwriter, producer. Y'all listen, you don't want to miss tonight. So come on, let's go. Let's do it. Good evening, everyone that's joining. Good evening. Come on in. I'm gonna give you about another minute, and we're gonna get started. Another minute, we're gonna get started. I'm giving my guests some time, giving them some time. So come on in, guys. Let's do this. Good evening, everyone. Like I said, if someone say I've known to, if someone say good evening to me, you should always say good evening back. Okay. Let's do that. Hey, once again, in the background, you are listening to Sincere, some of their hits, some of their great songs, some of their songs that I like, that reached me. This one I really love. LOVE, love. Come on in. Those that are viewing by YouTube, please hit the like and share button. And if it's your first time, go ahead and hit notification and click on the bell. That way you'll get notified hit subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, click on notification. And every time we go live, guys, you'll get notified when we're going live. Those that are viewing by Facebook, thank you for viewing us by Facebook. Please give us some love, give us some like. Please share. I need you to do this, Facebook. Do this for me. I need you to tag at least, let's go tag 10 people on tonight that you know. Let them know the South Florida Live podcast is on, and we are interviewing one of South Florida's greatest songwriter, producer, musicians, performer on tonight. So come on, guys, let's do that for me. I always say we need to support our own. So we got 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. We're going to do this. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Tell them that you love them. God's love is unconditional, y'all. We must love each other how God loves us. Y'all listen to this. Loving everybody. Yeah. Flowing with joy, vibrating high, everlasting peace. That's what love is. Come on, y'all. All right, 5 seconds. 3. Come on, join me, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this. Share with somebody. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get started. Hey, listen, once again, it is an honor, it is a pleasure, man, to be able to do this on this evening. When I reached out to them and said, I heard that they were having a new single coming out. I reached out to him and asked him, would he like to come on to our platform, South Florida Live Podcast, and share with my viewers and share with my audience what's coming on the 21st. I'm sure it's going to be powerful. It's going to be a blessing to all. So y'all, tonight, it's my honor, it's my privilege, it's my pleasure, man. Listen, to get the opportunity to interview this young man, great young man. I love his spirit, I love his kindness, love his heart. The one and only, the Dr. James JDubb Wright is with us on this evening. Hey man, good evening, brother. How are you this evening?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. Other than that rain that yesterday that I experienced,
Yeah,
I shut it in, stayed in today. I didn't want to experience that on today.
yeah, but no, I understand. I definitely understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's been crazy out here.
it's been messy, man. Real messy. Like I said earlier, man. I left work at about 3:10. I didn't get home until 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, it's been a little rough out here, man. That's a matter of fact. That's why I'm inside and not in nobody's studio right now. Because that's why we
Oh,
usually
okay.
be. You would probably be talking to me from somebody's studio, but today is home today.
It's
Because
home. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
shut it down today, man. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't want to deal with the aftermath and what's going to go on what's probably happening now. So I stayed inside. I didn't want to take a chance of not being able to get home
yeah, that's smart.
again.
That's
So
smart.
yeah, that was scary. That was scary. But hey, man, listen, I appreciate you uh doing this tonight. You know,
Appreciate you inviting me.
Oh no, man. I always when I see, I say, man, I'm one of y'all biggest supporters. Anything I can do, I just want to support South Florida, period. With
Man.
our artists because hey, listen, we got some talented folks here in South Florida, and you are one of those that are very talented, very gifted, got anointed
To God be the
spirit in
glory.
everything that you do, man. And so I appreciate you. So when you said yes, I told the folks I was running around the house like yes. They said yes. So hey man, listen, I know we got this new single coming out. But before we get to that, I just want to dive into some stuff like the group, for instance. Can you share with us and my audience, please? My audience, hey y'all, listen, y'all need to share with some people about this and tune in. Can you share with us how did this group Sincere, how did it come to be? And I always concerned, I may have missed it, you probably explained it before, but for those that did not know or don't know, um, how did Sincere come to be? And explain the name Sincere.
Well, Sincere was without a name was birthed into me years before I I started Sincere. My dad, my family is very musical. My
Right.
brothers, my dad, not my mother. God bless her heart. She's a preacher, but she doesn't have the musical gift. Uh, but it was birthed in me a long time ago because my dad used to have us listening to, not just gospel music. We listened to Commission and the Winans, but we also listened to Earth, Wind and Fire, Mint Condition, Guy, all of, Silk, all the different things. And we knew how to kind of like separate the lyrics, from the music and understand the significance was in the music and in the way the cadences that the lyrics were said. So we me and my brother had the opportunity of being well rounded musically
Mhm.
from a younger age. And I always knew I wanted to start a band because I wanted to be just like Stokely. Now I can sing, but I can't sing like Stokely. So, I always after that I knew that I was gonna have to have a lead singer, which that's why you see Brian.
Right. Right.
So I definitely sing though. My dad
No,
kind of
you
paid.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely sing. I sing background with them, but right after I got out of high school, I got out in 2002. 2003, I started forming the group.
Okay.
When I formed the group in 2003, 2004 with my buddies like BJ, Greg Johnson,
Right.
Ernest Blackman, all those guys, we all went to high school. Not the same high school, but we were in school together and we used to come together and share. So with that, with all of that going on, we started the group, got a few singers, did our thing. And then our first performance, we didn't have a name. But for me, in my music and the way I write the music and the way the lyrics come, everyone knows that you're gonna feel my music is gonna be an energy and a vibe that you feel behind everything that we do, even live. You feel it more so live.
Yeah.
And Sincere was just the perfect name, and I came up with that name right there on the spot, even the spelling. God gave it to me right there. I said it's Sincere. That's what I thought. They was like, what do you guys name? We was singing. Our first gig was at Bishop Hurricane Johnson Church when he was over there off of kind of close to
Yeah.
Oakland Park, off
Hmm.
of like, yeah, I would say that's what that is, 31st or something like that. But that's where it all started, and then now what we have right now is Sincere.
It's sincere.
It's switched through a few members
Yeah.
over the years, but what has been consistent is my lead singer Brian Williams, my trumpet player Daryl, and then I have my bass player with me too, is Tim Wimberly. Uh, so we're the vets behind all of it, kind of the ones that was there almost from the start. I was
Yeah.
the one there from the start. So that's how that all got started, and we just
Okay.
started moving like we supposed to when Eddie Pugh came into the mark with us.
Okay. So I heard you mentioned some other things, and I know your dad probably I know your dad, so I know your dad was a great influence. But I gotta ask this: who influenced? Because your style is totally on a different level, and just totally it's you. Like with me, my thing is I like to be able to identify an
Hmm.
artist or a group by their style. Like for instance, like a Peebo Bryson. I don't care who he's singing with. Peebo. You know
Right.
his voice. You know his style. Like with you guys, I don't care what it is. You'll be like, "That- man, that's sincere. That gotta be sincere." So who influenced you and helped to build your foundation in music to do the things to write the way you do and compose the way you do and do the things like you do? Who are some of those that influence you?
Well, like those bands I named um, came from it. Of course, it's mixed with a little bit of quartet. I can't deny my quartet roots because that's where he came from. And that's where we were all the time. I can remember sitting there playing drums on the floor while all at the quartet singings, that's what they call them. While all the musicians was playing, I was acting like I was in the band. You see that now today with the kids, and my dad did that with us when we were little.
Right.
So you see, every time I see it on the quartet stage where the little kid is next to the band and he's playing the guitar and singing with it, it
Right.
reminds me of me and my
Right.
brother back in the days. But this sound, God gave me this sound, and I have to. I'm not trying to be all deep or whatever, but sometimes I don't know how I come up with the stuff. It's just something that I feel, and it's something that, so all I can give credit to is God for it, because I don't hear music the same way everybody else hears music.
Hmm. Yeah.
My guys that are theory minded, they always telling me, they're like, Jay, what are we playing? You're like molesting a theory book. They used to tell me this all the time. It's like, listen, our music teachers will be so mad at you right now. This is the stuff you writing, but
Right.
I don't,
But
I
that's
can't tell you.
but I see it as a creative mind. You just have that creative mind that's yours, and some of the things, a lot of stuff like you do, like that song I just got through playing, Love, Love, Love.
Right.
That you can't say, he sampled that from this group. That sounds like so and so. You
Right.
can't do that with some of your music. So it's like genuine. It's just from you. And I always wonder, I'm like, wow, where do he get this creativity from to write and compose such great music and the style that it is that it's different. It's different, but it is unique in its own right, but it's good.
Well, I can tell you from the natural side, I gave you that is God. I gave you the spiritual side of it. But for the natural side, I would encourage any producer or musician that want their own sound is to listen to multiple genres, even when you think that genre is boring.
Mhm.
I take out a classical music, I take out a country music, which is quartet on the other side.
Right,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
I take from blues, I take from R&B, I take from gospel. You know, I'm never too bored or in my own feelings in my own music to check out what type of music. Like I'll be in the elevator and my wife will tell you I'll be there. I'll be in the elevator or I'll be at home and a song will play and it's totally outside of the genre that I've gotten my accolades in,
Right.
but it would lend to help towards my sound and people was like, oh, how you put them chords together, and it's something from a song that's way left field that I done switched over and changed sounds and chord patterns and all that kind of stuff. So I would say, just listen to a lot of different genres of music and it'll help to mold and shape. Because what it is you're taking from each genre that the things that you like,
Exactly.
and it's helping to shape and mold your own sound.
Right. 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 So now so in that aspect, I mean I know you hit a few of them, but I'm sure there's many more. Which famous artists and artists or artists did you admire the most growing up during your time? I know it was crucial. I know you was locked in the quartet scene. I've been there, done that when I used to go with my uncle,
Right.
Jesse Purnell. I would go to his
Hmm.
quartet, just sit there, man, and be amazed and learning stuff. So, but other than that, who are some of the artists or artists that you admire the most growing up?
Growing up, okay, I gave you that Earth, Wind and Fire, Mid
Right.
Condition, and my dad's group times three, and Commission, the Winans, Joe Lagun, and the Mighty Clouds of Joy, the Dixie Hummingbirds, and it's a lot. What I could do now is give you who I admire now, like who's
Okay.
out here in the scene now,
Okay.
because I know we talked about that, and
Okay.
some are right here in my local area. Like I admire Gia Wire. I
Okay.
admire, I like what she's doing. Hopefully, what's in talks now is that we're gonna get a song together. So hopefully
Ooh.
that should be pretty cool.
Ooh.
Um, I like what Otis Kemp is doing. That's my cousin. That's
Yeah.
family. I like what he's doing. Um, so I admire his grind a lot. Um, I admire one of the guys in my group is also does solo music, and Levi knows that's like my
Yeah.
little brother,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's something in itself. I was always struck by him live. Let me tell you something. He can tell you I've been trying to get him in the group since the first batch of guys. Since I was trying to get him with Dwayne, Terrell, and Brian together,
Right.
which
Wow.
has been crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Which is
Yeah.
that
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yes.
But it's God's time, and he came in now because Dwayne ended up relocating and things like that, and so we
Right.
ended up getting
Wow. That would
Levi.
be
But
great.
Levi's been a family friend for a lot of years. He was best friends with my brother. That's how I met him. And then when my brother got married, you know how guys get when they get married, they cling to the wife now. So
You
you know
can't
he
hang out
ended
with the
up.
single folks no more.
And I done been married for 17 years, so me and my wife give each other a little space. So
Okay.
he ended up hanging with me now.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Okay.
those guys. It's some artists down here that I really admire.
Yeah, yeah. It's plenty here. I said it earlier.
Mhm.
South Florida have plenty. And those
Right.
names that you call, like, I can't wait to that right there.
Yeah,
When
hopefully we can get something together. It's
you
trying
and
to.
Oh my God, that's gonna be major, bro. That is
Hmm.
gonna be real major. Hey, so
Betty
tell
Wright
me
was
this.
another one too, though. Betty
Who's
Wright,
that?
and I had the opportunity. Betty Wright, and I
Oh
had the opportunity.
yeah, yeah,
I had the opportunity to work with her. I got my Grammy
yeah,
nomination through her. She taught me a lot about the songwriting business.
yeah. Right.
So,
And that's something I was gonna ask you too. Um, who are some famous artists that you have an opportunity to not just meet, but you perform with them or had and share the same stage with them?
man, Sincere has been all over this country, man, and it's it's
Yes.
it's the only thing we have not done is been outside of the country, which is coming soon to a country near you. But I, I have to even think back some of the most incredible artists that would like we've performed on the same stage as Mary J. Blige.
Mm,
We've performed on the same stage as Patti LaBelle.
right.
You know, because this group isn't just we're gospel, but it has an inspirational sound to it too. So
Mhm.
we talk to everybody. None of our music is vulgar or nasty or anything like
Right.
that, but we believe God works in all aspects of love. So
Right.
you will find a wife dedication type of song on
Mhm.
our Apple Music profile or Spotify profile because that's we kind of handle all aspects of love like the Bible did.
Right.
Um
And you're
yeah.
and you're not and you're if I can say you're not just you have a gospel foundation, but
Hmm.
your sound and your sound is not just all God and the way you guys perform and the way you like I say the creativity of how you have the band so set up it's gospel, but it's also I don't even have the name for I've been trying to search for the name for what you can call because I don't want to say pop rock. It's totally different. It's a
Well, I
different
know that
sound.
we've been called inspirational soul
Okay,
in the
I can go
past.
with that.
Yeah, we've been called inspirational soul in the past. I think when you look at who I've been in the studio with, I think Miss B was incredible to work with. I
Okay.
actually didn't even get a chance to vocal arrange or do anything when it came to her. She had it all under control. So I had to sit there and watch on some music that I did for her. So it was cool watching her in action. And it was also cool watching Genuine in action. I was in the studio with him.
Mhm.
Um, it was cool watching Raphael Sadiq started off being like my mentor like around 2008, 2009, around that. I had him for at least a year.
Right.
Um, and he taught me a lot. So me working with him, and I think that's the time my production really started to shape and form, where people started to notice is when he got to me and started handing me nuggets on how to produce music and how to look at music and artistry. When it comes to your image, when it comes to the sound,
Right.
everything. I can remember him just taking me when I was in LA with him. We was working on a project, and he'd take me to this breakfast spot and say, "Oh, he'll have egg whites too. Like we'll be eating healthy and this and that." He skateboards everywhere. He don't drive
Mm.
nowhere.
Wow.
Uh, so
Wow.
this dude probably I think it's probably almost 60 if he's not 60, but he looks
Yeah.
like he's in his 40s.
Younger than that. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I learned the grind from him. I learned that's why I don't get no sleep now. My team be telling me, James, go to bed.
Yeah.
um I learned, to always keep reinventing yourself. You know what I'm saying? That keeps people on the move. And I never understood it why he would go to the extent of changing his phone number, change his look, change everything. We've seen Raphael Sadiq in a lot of different ways if you really
Mm.
pay attention to it.
Mhm.
We've seen him with his Middle Eastern clothes on and
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
hair.
To think about it. Yeah.
We see him now with the dreads and the big
Right.
clothes and stuff like
Right. To
that.
think
But
yes.
it keeps you relevant when you keep changing, you know, the
Exactly.
way
Yeah.
people look at you. And
You
so
don't get
he
stuck into the norm. Just to
nah
yeah.
nah he don't
Yeah.
he don't stick to it like that. And so that's
Right.
how it's been kind of even with Sincere. Sincere started off with the flooded pants. Then everybody was laughing at us about that. Now everybody's wearing flooded pants, and we done moved on to bell bottoms again.
Right.
You know what I'm
Listen.
saying?
I you're so right because I got man, listen, I am so locked with this one right here. I'm
Yeah,
like,
see.
boy, the coming to America, that's there, boy. I
Hey,
love
let
it.
me tell you, now
When
that
y'all
picture
came
there,
out with that one, I'm like, dude, y'all
yeah,
just y'all just made a statement, bro.
yeah, but that picture there, let me tell you, that picture, that really, people really was like, because we did Javon, I don't know if you know the MD for Tank. He does this birthday bash in Jacksonville every year in honor of his father, his late father that passed away, Javon Hill. We
Right.
ended up we ended up doing his concert, that concert, and they were introducing us, and that picture came on the big LED screen, and literally on the video, all you
Listen.
can hear people is going
Yeah,
like,
listen. That one
and
right
that,
there, bro. That one right
and,
there.
and so now you see the album covers now, just a couple years later, they're even crazier than that now.
Yeah, yeah.
We always try to be the
Yeah,
first one
y'all.
to hit the cutting edge.
And that was the thing that attracted me to you guys, not just the music, but you were always out of the box. It was
Yeah,
never just, in the box. It was always something like, okay, what are they gonna do next?
right. Because
How they gonna come out?
when you don't have the financial backing of the label or an investor, different things like
Mhm.
that, what's going to separate you? What's going to draw the attention? Because there has to. It's so much out there right now. You
Right.
can't blend in with everybody else because it's not enough room. It is enough room for everybody, but it's not enough room
Not
for
a,
the same stuff.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So when you don't have the investor or you don't have the machine of the label, we do have a distribution deal, but when you don't have that machine you're actually
Uh,
signed to and pushing you,
yeah,
you have to be. That's the time for you to stick out. That's the time for you to say, "Hey, we're here," and ain't
right.
nothing wrong with that. I know in our Christian world, people try to say something's wrong with that. Keep the attention on God. The attention is on God,
It is on
But
God.
he doesn't frown on entertainment either, though.
Right.
Entertainment is cool.
And I'm glad that you don't listen to that outside noise, and you guys, start selling and changing what you guys do and how you step out, because it's like you said, it's not your dress appearance, it's what you're bringing. It's the ministry that you do.
Absolutely,
And every time I've
absolutely.
seen you guys perform in a church or
Mhm.
outside wherever, it's always been professional, on point ministry in your
Absolutely,
own way. And so all the other noise,
absolutely, absolutely. I
let
think
them have it.
now we wasn't always like that, and so I'm giving you the lowdown, lowdown.
Yeah.
That started. I cannot be on this podcast and not mention the guy who taught me everything I know about the music industry on the business side, which is a brother by the name of Eddie Pugh, who
Mm,
has a long history of
mhm,
hits, Mariah Carey,
mhm.
everybody.
Yeah.
Some of the people that he actually put out that are famous now, like Adina Howard and all of these people back in the days that he put out, um, they started with him, and he has a long history of being with Sony, Casablanca Records. A lot of people know him. He was actually just honored by some big foundation. They honored him as one of the music execs, of all one of the greatest music execs of all time.
Mhm.
Um, so you know, when when I look at the way things are going, he was a guy that took us, went and bought a bus, took us on the road for 3 months with
Wow.
no money, and all we did was play everywhere. And when he say, "Listen, you build it, they'll come." And
Mm,
so when we went out there, we got an argument right out there because we didn't know where we were gonna stay.
really?
And
Wow.
right, it was not planned out, but he said, "Just leave, watch what happens."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when we left, and some artists may be like, "Man, y'all are crazy. It would never happen like that again." But we did it. We were young enough to do it.
Mhm,
Because this was back in 2012. This was over 12 years ago. I think about 12 years ago.
mhm.
Um, we went out there on that road. All of a sudden, since people were finding out that we were in Atlanta, we were in Virginia, we were in New York, we got every TV appearance call while we were out. We was not. that 2012 tour is why you and everyone else know us, because we never had any of that stuff while we were home.
Mhm.
And when he showed us that, there was nothing he could say that we ain't really move when he said move. We got out there and literally he was working on his phones. We rented this raggedy house. I mean, it ain't have no AC in it. And it was the time Atlanta was going through like record setting heat in the
He-
summer.
Wow.
Yeah. So we was having fans, you take the fan and you put it up against the window so to draw in the
Well, to draw them
breeze.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So we been through it, and he would be on the phone every day looking for opportunities and showing me how to do it, showing me how to call radio, showing me how to call media, showing me how to email them and write them, showing me
Wow.
how to speak to them.
Wow. Yeah.
And um till this day, artists frown on me doing that, but I was taught by a person that did that for a living how to do it.
Hmm.
So when people tell, I don't go into this whole story, but when people say, people don't like talking to the artists, I say, man, I'm a dude that knows how to not show that I'm emotionally attached to my music. So if they want to say the music is trash and they're not playing it, I don't
Hmm.
take it as, I don't try to defend it or try, I say, okay, I'm gonna defend it this way. When I get the record in a certain spot, tell me you'll play it if I get it here.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he taught me how to do that stuff. And literally while we was on that road, we performed on BET, Bobby Jones
Yep.
back then.
Yep.
Not the Word Network,
Right.
BET. We went
BET.
into
Right.
the BET
Right.
studios
Right.
and we performed on 700 Club on
I
ABC.
remember
That was
that.
huge. We did that twice.
I remember that.
We performed on TBN the studio in New York.
Right.
They had
Yeah.
us there live.
Right.
And it was amazing. And when we got back, we did Jazz in the Gardens, the main stage. It was amazing.
Yeah,
So
because I guarantee, and you have people trying to wonder like, where did they come from? How are they getting on
mhm,
this stage? How are they getting this? Because if you really go back in the day and you really study some of the great bands and great artists, that
mhm.
the journey that you guys taken, that's some of the journeys that most of them have. They
Yeah, it's
started out
absolutely. And you got to
sleeping
remember, our
in
manager comes from helping bands like that, working with people like Black Sabbath and all of them. You know
right.
what I'm saying? That's where he's from. He actually worked the pop side and the rock side, I think, more than he worked the hip hop side. So, that's the only way he knows.
Yeah.
Get your butt out here on the road and get to the people. And
Let's
that's
see.
what I tell
Right.
younger artists today because that's still relevant. Like
Mhm.
all of this social media stuff, I love it. And I think that it's a time for it and you need to spend just as much money into that as you
Right.
would do in anything else.
Right.
But the thing that's gonna last the longest is the road. You look at the
Right.
artists now,
Mhm.
why Kirk Franklin can still pack out arenas. Why Earth, Wind and Fire still pack out not arenas, stadiums,
Stadiums.
football stadiums,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do. Why Beyonce still do it, and she don't even have a social media presence. It's
Mm.
because she came in. She came into the fold
Putting the work.
in an era where they were hitting the road.
Yeah.
They were touching and shaking hands with the people.
Yeah. Connecting.
So yeah, they were connecting. So
Connecting.
that does not go away. And
Right.
so this single that we got out, that's coming out, this thing, the album that we got that's coming out next year in January, it's
You getting
something.
ahead. You getting ahead of my questions now.
I ain't gonna talk about it, but it's
You
just
getting up ahead of my question. But
that's the
yeah,
same approach.
but this, yeah, and you got to continue. And now I see why you guys have been so you accomplished so much, and you've been everywhere, and you've been doing the thing because you put the work in. And I guess with him, it showed you how sometimes you got to see how bad you really want it.
Hmm.
Is this really your calling? If this really what you want, so it's not going to always be good times. It's going to be some trials and tribulations
Absolutely.
that you're gonna have to go through, but you have to overcome those trials and tribulations sometime to get to where you are now. Like they always say, you don't know the story, you just see the glory, but y'all, a lot of people don't know the story. And I'm so glad that you just shared that story because a lot of people see y'all glory, y'all success, and don't know what you had to go through to get where you are now. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad you really expound on that. Now I'm gonna ask you this before we get into the single, because it seems like you ready to get there. Um, um, what would you be doing right now? What would you be doing right now if you wasn't writing, producing, composing, performing, doing music? What would you be doing right now?
Well, if it had nothing, well, I would be still working in the music industry, but I would be. I love fashion. I can style. Um, I definitely have a passion for calling radio, dealing with the business side of music. Outside of music, outside of the entertainment industry, I don't really know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
You
think
know,
you.
I
I was like, he's not gonna be able to answer this one, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
yeah, it's like I don't. I can be honest with you. I don't really see anything other than
Doing what
my
you do.
ministerial gift. That of course, my dad's a preacher. That I'm gonna walk in that calling anyway, as far as preaching and doing ministering across the country. But anything outside of that, I don't really know. I was a
Okay.
pretty good athlete as a kid, but I didn't
No,
like it.
that wasn't your drive. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't think so, because you can just tell your passion for music. This is all, like you got preachers that's all they knew. That's all they wanted to do would
Hmm.
be a preacher, be a pastor. And for you, I can tell the only thing you wanted to do was music.
Right.
Um, you really didn't have a choice in the matter, to be
No.
honest.
No. No.
You really didn't have a choice in the matter. So to do it, be music. But I had to ask that question just in case some of our viewers wanted to know you had something else different. But I could answer that one myself. Um,
Absolutely.
but listen, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about this new single, bro. That's coming out. That's coming out real soon. It is coming out, y'all. Yeah. June 21st, y'all. It's coming. It is coming. It is coming. It is coming. So hey, let's talk about it. Where we
Yeah.
at with it, man? Where are we at with it? What's
Well,
going on? Give the title, give the where we at, how, all that, all that.
well, I'm especially excited about this song because this came at a time where I was talking to all my creative homeboys, letting them know, like, I'm having writer's block. Um, and I was having it so bad to where, um, the guys, they were doing a lot more writing, helping me write this album than they've done on any other album. Um, and this one in particular, my manager, uh, he helped me write that song. Of course, I already did the music and came up with the vibe of the song, but that song, that song is a reminder of how beautiful God is.
Mm,
And when you listen to it and you hear the lyrics, it's telling you anything good, anything that happens in your life that's good. That is a picture of how beautiful God is.
hmm Wow.
So when you go outside and you feel that, like we say in the lyrics, you feel the cool breeze while watching the
Mm,
beautiful trees. Those are all examples of how beautiful God is. When you're in a situation and God grants you grace and mercy, that's an
mhm.
example. That's a look on
Wow.
how beautiful God is. When you wake up in the morning, that's how beautiful God is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So everything that's got to do with your life that's good is a view of God. We're literally looking at God around us every day and don't even know it. And that's what this song explains.
Wow. Hey, listen, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to hear that whole vibe, that whole, just like someone said, man, that whole vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's vibey.
Oh man, that's killing it, bro.
Yeah, it's vibing.
I don't
It's
know. I don't know where we gonna put it at, but it's gonna be everywhere. I'm serious, man.
yeah,
That ain't just church. That's church, but it ain't church.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna give people more of a listen. The guys and us, some of us, we're gonna go live, probably that Thursday night, 10 o'clock or
Okay.
something like that,
Okay.
and tell people to chime in, and I'll play the record right before it comes out, so it'll motivate you guys to go get
Oh, it ain't
it.
even got to motivate me. That right there, just that, I'm getting it anyway. That hook right there got me.
I see my
I can't
pops
wait.
trying
That's
to.
why when I text, I'm like, hey, can you send me a little copy of it? Let me play a little bit. He's like, nah, January, June 21st. I'm like, I ain't gonna play all of it, bro.
Yeah, we actually because we actually reserved.
I just wanted to just tease my audience a little bit. Just tease them
Yeah,
just a little bit.
we actually look. My manager was like, "Listen, chill on all of those sound bites."
Yeah.
Because
You know what? I was kind of with him because I'm like, man, he keep playing all this stuff. He just like really getting us into it. He's sharing a little bit too much. Man,
right.
stop it. Stop
So
it.
I stopped. If you notice, it's kind of
Yeah, I say
but
stop it. You sharing too much. I know you
right,
want to get us in, lock us in. Trust me. I'm gonna say this. This from me. It's not much you have to do. It's just you
right.
just got to say Sincere is coming out with a single.
Yeah, man.
That's just me.
I praise
And
God
I'm
for
waiting
people.
for it, and I'm gonna get it. And those that are listening, those that are tuned in, I'm talking to y'all who viewing,
I
all
see
y'all that's
pops on
locked
here
in right
too.
now.
My pops
June
say we wouldn't let him
21st.
sing on it.
June
Yeah,
21st.
21st.
21st. Listen. There it is. June 21st.
Yeah,
Y'all
absolutely.
better be ready.
Mhm.
That's all you get. That's all you get. That's all you get right there. That's all you get. You ain't getting no more.
Hey,
No
I
more
see.
of that.
I
That
see my
but
pop.
I'm
I
gonna
see
tell
my
you
pops on
that
here.
there alone, just that alone. If that I hear the people's on let's go fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, more. Yeah. It's gonna be fire. Yes, it is. I guarantee you guys. I guarantee because he shared some stuff a little more than that. And I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, no, don't give us no.
Yeah, so yeah, my manager, we got a good manager by the name of Gerald Jones. He actually helped write this song. He was like, yeah, don't put too much of it out yet. And the thing is we're getting a really good response from radio, because they've already started to add the song. Some of the stations now will debut the song on the day that it comes out with an interview from us also. So it's been working out well. It's been, this song is special to me, man. I think we got something that we ain't never really tapped into before.
Okay.
So this gonna be interesting. My dad is salty. He say we ain't let him sing on it. This is Aaron. He wanted to sing on
Next one, Dad. Next one,
it.
Dad. Next one. Hey, listen, you said it now. You're on the South Florida Live podcast, okay? So
Right,
you just said this one is gonna be special.
right.
I got first dibs, okay? So tell me, when you say this one is gonna be special, give us an insight. Take us into what you mean when you said this one right here is gonna be the special one.
This one I feel like is gonna be the song that takes this group to the next level. It's the number one. It really is.
I
It's
think.
what's happening. As far as the sound, is what's needed today, um, and lyrically is what's needed today, because I think we're losing focus on
Mm,
who God is and
mhm.
what He represents, with all of the hatred out there for God
Wow.
because of people like Donald Trump claiming to be a Christian and then doing some of the stuff he
Mhm.
doing. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Exactly.
people are losing sight of who God really is because of the the fakes out there claiming to be Christian and doing some hateful and mean stuff, man. So I
Exactly.
see it every day. I see it every day. Oh, you Christians this, you Christians that, or that's a whole nother conversation. But that's the motivation behind this song.
Okay. And I believe that because you shared some of the lyrics and verse. I'm like, dude, stop.
Yeah,
With the yeah, and what I heard, it's gonna touch some people. It's gonna open some eyes. It's gonna bring some lights to where we are today. Some of the struggles where we are placed. It's just gonna take us back to understanding, like you say, who God really is,
right,
and what his purpose, how he's blessed us, and how he's shined on us, and how he's been so good to us. Because a lot of times we take it for granted that we wake up every morning, and we take it
right,
for granted that we go home, we leave work, we leave home and go to work. I often tell people sometimes you got to check yourself. With me, when I leave home and when I get to work, it's always a thank you, Jesus.
right.
When I leave work and I get back home, it's a thank you, Jesus. Because I start believing and start thinking that, you know what, it's you, Lord, it's you, God, who's watched over me. It's somebody
Hmm.
did not make it home.
Right.
Somebody didn't make it to work.
We take stuff
Um,
like that for granted. Like
yeah,
I don't think we understand. Like my father, he preaches this all the time when people try to disprove God and it's not real and this and that. Well, what's the answer for all of this creation?
exactly.
Okay, well, if it was a blast like you all trying to say, then who created space? Who created that blast? Who created all of that stuff? And the Bible tells you if you really read it.
If you
And
read it, right. If you
and
read it,
yeah, and so that's the world we in right now, where they're giving more they're giving more looks at aliens being real than they are Jesus Christ and God being real.
right. And it's for us as believers, as Christians, as believers to be more forceful and be
Hmm.
more voiceful than the others.
Right.
A lot of times our voice is underneath and theirs are higher because we get in the and we're the most compassionate folks and forgiving people that's on this earth. But
Hmm.
sometimes we can be compassionate. I tell people all the time, we can be compassionate and we can be forgiving, but we need also have a voice and speak out and be let it be known that for God I live, for God I die, but this is the God that I support. And like with the three Hebrew with the those three Hebrew boys, they were in that fiery pit, but they said regardless if you deliver us, if he deliver us or not deliver us, we still not gonna bow, we still gonna honor God, we gonna give him the praise
Well, first
regardless.
of all, if we could stop fighting each other on doctrine and different
That
belief
part.
systems within the Christian world, we can get some work done. We realize that's not. My father has a church called The Point,
Hmm.
and he always says, "What's the point, though? Like, what's the like?" we that the point is we have to save souls and
That's the
reach
point.
souls. That's the
Right.
point. So
That's the point.
every day I get on and I see things with pastors arguing in public and all that kind of stuff. We can't get nothing done. We look like a joke to the rest of the
Right.
world. So,
Right.
you know, this song
I
it,
can't
it
wait.
it talks about that without talking about it.
Okay.
You know,
So, hey, y'all, once again, don't play,
you gonna
don't
play us a
play,
sound bite.
don't play. Hey, listen,
It's a vibe.
boom,
It's a vibe.
21st. Yes, sir. Hey, it's coming. Y'all get ready. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Next
That's
week.
God. That's God. That's God. And that's God all in that. So, listen. All right. We know this single is coming out. Is there a project coming soon after this single? And
Yeah.
if so, when? If you have a date or time, or just let us know. Is there a project coming out
Yeah,
after this?
it actually is. People always tell us that the Soul of Future Worship Volume One was our College Dropout. College Dropout is a iconic album that Kanye West did, and people, a lot of our fans and a lot of our supporters can't get away from that first album we did, the Soul of Future Worship Volume One. We got Jesus on it, with Favor on it. So this is the volume 2 to that album,
Okay.
that we did 12 years ago. So this is the Soul Future Worship Volume 2. Uh, it comes out more than likely the top of next year. We have Fred Hammond on it. We got
Oh,
B
wow.
Slade on it. We have Molly Music on it. And
Wow.
that's just the name of a few. I give you you'll see the rest when it comes out. But we have more big artists on that album. That album is literally probably the biggest album that we've ever done.
Right.
And it's definitely one of the most special albums that we've ever done, because we wrote that album going through hardships. So, like we wrote pretty much every album, but this album, when you feel like your career is on its way out, when you feel like everybody's overlooking you, and when you've been in the game almost 20 years, well,
Mhm.
20, 2023, and you still feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, some good songs could come out of that.
Right.
And that's what's happening on this album. This album is so special too. It's like, and that song is on this album, and
Mm,
that's not even scratching the surface of what we getting into
but
on
the
that
other
album.
ones. Wow.
Hmm.
Can't wait. Can't wait for that. So when that one comes, I got you here right in front of all my audience. So when that one get ready, you coming back, right? We're gonna have
Yeah,
this
most
conversation. We're
definitely.
gonna
We
come back,
can.
hang out, do this thing again. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, in 3 words, can you describe you and the group in 3 words? It's 3 words, if you can.
If I can.
If you can. Let's
uh,
start with you.
let's start with me. If
Yeah.
I can explain.
Can you describe you yourself in 3 words?
Oh,
If you could in 3 words, how would you describe yourself?
aggressive, uh, strong, and God fearing is 2 words, but you get
We'll
it.
go with it. We got
Right.
you.
In
Yeah.
the group, I can say heartfelt. That's 2 words. Um, uh, uh, I would say aggressive too because they have the same mindset. Um, and I would say they're trendsetters.
Whoa. Yeah. I can okay. Feel you on that one. Feel you on that one. We got it. Yeah. Yeah. So tell us, what's the future now? What's the future hold for you and Sincere? I know we got this single coming out on the 21st. You got a project that's going to be coming out real soon. But what's the future? Give us the insight of the future that hold that for you and that and Sincere.
Well, it's God's will, first of all, but we pray and hope that this album leads to touring and all the good stuff where we don't need albums to help sell us. We can go out and still pack out churches and venues and stuff like that and have fun with the people and
Mm,
telling about God and spreading God's word across the country because that's what we do.
yeah.
And them guys really do that. They don't just preach it and they don't just sing about it. I can remember us being at a rest stop and it was a girl that admitted she was going to commit suicide and our guys prayed her through that and gave her our number, project, everything, and she was tremendously blessed by it. So, the future for us is to keep spreading God's word.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's more to Sincere, y'all, than just music and performing. They do
Absolutely.
more beyond that. They minister and they
Absolutely.
touch those that whatever come near them or come in their path or whatever. That there's a word for them. And so these guys, man, and most of all of them are like church babies. Most of everybody
Yep.
that's in the group, so they know the way. So, hey, man, once again, appreciate this. Thank you so much for joining me on this evening. So, let those that are viewing, let them know how, and when this come out on the 21st, where can they get it from? And what platforms are available to get this single?
Well, the title of this single is That's God La La La. It'll be available on all digital outlets. Wherever you listen to music, it'll be there. Um, Also, stick to us for updates on www.sensereband.com. Our IG is official sincere. Our our uh, our fan page on Facebook is sincere or official sincere. It'll still pop up, and our TikTok, all of that official sincere. And how you spell sincere is SENSERE. That's
Right,
the other thing. We took the sin out of sincere
right,
and just
right,
did it all over. So it's SENSERE.
right.
And you can find us on all that. And look on the 21st on all digital outlets for our new single, That's God, La La La.
This one right here, y'all. That's the one. Listen, I can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I literally saw you when you started playing around with it on the
Yeah, I posted it.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally saw it, and you were just like really going. I say, this one going, this sounds special. And the more
Hmm.
you really gave in the tracks and the drum track and all, I'm like, whoa, this is gonna be real good. Hey y'all, listen, it's the guy, it's the man, the one and only James JDubb Wright,
Thank you,
producer,
man. Thank you for having
songwriter,
me.
mixing engineer, musician, and consultant on the South Florida Live podcast. Man, I thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for inviting me, man.
And I'm gonna tell you this: don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head up. Stay lifted up, man. Listen, because you're doing good work, and not only that, you're blessing so many
I
through,
received
through
that,
your
man.
music and what you do, and just being who you are. Don't change it, regardless of the noise. Just continue to be faithful and committed. That
Absolutely.
that would be my three: that you're committed, you are faithful, and you are strong. So
Thank you, man. I
yeah.
received that.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. Hey, y'all, listen. This has been the South Florida podcast, South Florida Live podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown, with my super guest, man, the one and only James JDubb Wright of Sincere with us. And once again, y'all, on the 21st, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gotta go. Don't play. Don't play with me. On the 21st, we just gonna buy it all. We're gonna just mess up the whole digital platform and
Yeah.
y'all just sell it out. I'm
Yeah.
serious, South Florida. I'm serious, South. I'm
Absolutely.
listen, people don't understand how serious I am when it comes to the South Florida artists. I am so serious about us here in South Florida because I just feel if anybody should purchase your music, it should be your home folks here in South
Absolutely.
Florida. And I'm gonna say this, and y'all ain't gotta agree with me, good or bad.
Absolutely.
It can be number one, can be the top 100. It don't matter. It's your family, it's
Hmm.
homegrown, and it's here in South Florida. It should not
Absolutely.
matter. It should not matter of how you purchase, when you're gonna purchase, if you're gonna purchase. It's just the point as Sincere is coming out with a single. Okay, their hometown. We're gonna purchase it. That's support.
Absolutely.
And I think once we change that narrative of how we feel about music and whatnot, um, and the gospel end, it'll grow, it'll get better. But sometimes we waiting for that hit before we go purchase it. And it shouldn't be when it comes to South Florida artists. That's just me. That's me. That's my take. That's not Dr. Wright's take. That's my take. That's how I feel about
Feel
it.
you.
Yeah. Hey, once again, man, appreciate you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
man.
much.
Thank you for having
And
me.
hey, listen, you're gonna be back when we do that. You do that album, and any other time, man. Any other time, I try and support all of South Florida. Like I say, And
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, brother. I really do. I appreciate
you, man.
Thanks for joining me. Hey, y'all, listen, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast with my special guest on this evening, Dr. James JDubb Wright from SENSERE. Hey, y'all, you got to go get it. That project is going to be banging. It's going to be hot. And the title alone, that's God. La, la, la. That's God. You got to go get that once again. If you missed it, there it is. I love it. Oh, we're gonna go out on that one. It's your boy, the one and only Jeffrey Brown here at the South Florida Live Podcast. Hey, I'll pray for you, Lord. Listen, thank you for joining me on this evening. Thank you for being with me. Sorry about last night. We'll be back on Monday, live and in color, unless the weather is crazy like yesterday, but we praying that it won't be. Hey, y'all, I love you. Everyone be careful. Take care. Be safe out there. If it's raining in your area, flood areas, be careful out there. And listen, I'll pray for you. You pray for me. Hey, y'all, let's watch God change things. God bless you.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.